Biden is caught with classified documents that he's not supposed to have. Will he get in trouble? Things seem to be crashing down on him. Or is this simply part of a devious plan which is going according to plan? We'll get into that in a second, but first, welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants. Tyrant number one, Joe Biden. We've all seen what's been going on with the documents, and just 20-second recap if you haven't seen. While Biden was vice president with Obama, ever hear of him? He cares about the climate. Lives on the ocean, $12 million estate, sea levels are going to rise, swallow up his mansion within the next 12 minutes. So I'm sure he's really living in integrity. That's Obama. So while Biden was vice president under Obama, apparently he took classified documents, not supposed to have. And then when he's out of the office, they're now finding them in various spots. It's like the guy can't remember what he had for breakfast the other day. So how could he remember where he put the documents? Correction, he can't remember what he was fed for breakfast. So amongst other places, classified documents were discovered. Wonder why they looked there. They were discovered at his unsecure office on the campus of University of Pennsylvania. Why did he have an office there? Well, what you might not know is our scholarly president, after he left the Obama administration, he was a professor at UPenn. I doubt the guy ever taught a class, but could you imagine if he did? It's like, all right, we're spending $8,000 a year. Wonder what Professor Biden's going to teach us today. All right, class. Today's lesson is on adrenochrome, and we're also going to cover the political science of how to sniff a child. Now, ideally, you sniff their neck, but if you have to, sniff the top of their head. It's going to be good. He had his documents in this office. They're discovered. The media is covering it. That's the biggest surprise, which kind of makes us skeptical. Are things the way they appear to be? Or is it, like with all other corruption, nothing is as it seems? We'll get to what this all might be a devious play to accomplish in a second, but first, some other facts. This unsecure office, there's also ties to Joe and Hunter. Hunter, back on the scene. They had communications with people involved in the Chinese Communist Party about sharing an office. That's not suspect. Let's not even ask questions about why they would be doing that. So there's speculation that other people, potentially Chinese communists, could have had access to Biden's unsecure office and therefore access to these documents. They're also discovering documents like in a garage by his Corvette. And apparently they're turning up in some other places. So apparently this is a big no-no. And pressure is mounting in the media. That's the mainstream media. Nothing is as it seems there. So why is pressure mounting? Is the media covering this and, they're forming investigations like, okay, that might be some wrongdoing. We're going to investigate. Are they forming the investigations, and is the media covering this in a way as though the truthful situation of the matter is being pursued? Or are they covering this in a way as part of a bigger chess game? So there's two questions. Is Biden and his classified documents and his violation, is that all being presented straightforward, honest? Are things the way they appear to be? Oh, Biden had classified documents. He took them. That's wrong. He may face some consequences. We're investigating. Option number two is nothing is as it seems. Now let's live in that world for a second. If that's the case, nothing is as it seems. Let's do some conspiracy theorizing here for a few minutes, my friends. Stating the obvious, Trump was not really caught, but he was raided. Mar-a-Lago was raided to find classified documents, which apparently Trump did nothing wrong, from my understanding. He was the president. He had communication with the FBI, and they're like, "All right, you're gonna have those documents. Please have this kind of safe, and you'll be good." That's what he did, and then they're like, "But we're coming for you. We're going to sniff your wife's underwear too while we're there." And Trump was another difference. Trump was also the president, which gives you power to declassify anything you want. That happened. Now let's just pretend for a second that was a chess move. Setting up the narrative machine to really get people thinking, oh, it is a terrible thing when a president or ex-president or ex-vice president has classified documents. They take them from the White House. That is a terrible thing. And we're planting that seed with this whole Trump raid, but more importantly, the propaganda that we published surrounding that. But the plot thickens. There's speculation that there was knowledge of Biden having the classified documents prior to the Trump Mar-a-Lago raid. Is that what prompted the Trump Mar-a-Lago raid? Like, oh, okay, Biden did this, so now we got to do this on Trump. We don't know. It's already been framed, whether for malicious reasons, devious reasons, or straightforward, honest reasons. It's been framed. Trump is bad. Trump had classified documents. That is bad. It's bad, everybody. Remember to think that, because we want you to. Now Biden has classified documents, not supposed to. That's bad. Why would they want to do that if this is part of a devious game? If this is part of their devious chess game? What if it's all a move to push Biden out? Yeah, we set Trump up. That's bad. And like, all right, this puppet is not a very good puppet anymore. We need to get him out. Whether it's just for like running the show now or running the show in 2024, because obviously this guy's not re-electable, and it also makes the party look bad if the incumbent doesn't run for re-election. So do we push him out now with some level of grace where he gets to resign? He admits to some level of wrongdoing. He's not resigning where he's seen as a fraud, like, hey guys, I've actually had dementia for 15 years, so I'm resigning. Or I'm resigning because see the deep state in the shadows over there? Oh yeah, that's the point, you don't see them. But they told me I'm done, so I'm resigning. But if they get him to resign for a legitimate reason that allows some level of integrity within him and within the Democratic Party to be retained, that could be an interesting chess move. By the way, bookmark that for a second. There's also speculation that it's a bit of a political public pressure to then get the Republicans to disown Trump and maybe even get Trump to drop out of the race for 2024, saying like, hey, we all know because the narrative just told us through this experience, Biden resigned, having classified documents out of the White House. That is just unforgivable. Biden even resigned. So, oh yeah, Trump running in 2024, we need him to drop out. Say he doesn't drop out. Okay, public, this guy's running, but look, he did something that the President Biden had to resign. So we can't possibly elect him. Now, obviously, free thinkers aren't going to fall for that, but some who are either borderline almost to free thinking status or they're just mass formation psychosis status, they are susceptible to fall for that. So is it a way to try to essentially out Trump from any candidacy of 2024? Who knows? But as we're living in this world of, let's say they either discover these documents and they're like, all right, how can we use this to our advantage? Or they simply put the documents there. Like Biden wouldn't remember. He's like, was I the vice president? When? I didn't know about documents. So, okay, they're there. Trick them in. So maybe they planned it. I don't know. But if it is a plan to get Biden out of the White House and a long-term plan to try to keep the White House under Democratic control, if they get Biden to resign, which in my delusional redheaded opinion, it seems to me the most likely scenario that this is all a devious chess game, classified documents, we raided Trump, and now Biden, oh shit, buddy, you got to resign here. I think it is a plan to get Biden out of office. But if that happens, then the question is, then what? Well, we have a lovely lady with even worse approval rating than Kamala Harris. She's president. That much we know. Then what happens? Well, we know Vice President Harris becomes president because Biden resigns. We know, like, okay, now the vice presidency is vacant. Who are they going to appoint for that position? Now, my understanding is if the president resigns, vice president becomes president, then a new vice president is appointed. Not elected, not taken from like the Speaker of the House, the next in line. Who would they possibly appoint? Who do you think it is? I would put, let's just say all of my money on Gavin Newsom. Then he comes in, he's the vice president. Then in 2024, he is run as the main ticket for the Democratic Party. That would be my prediction. Then a little sub-prediction is people behind the scenes, orchestrating, like, we're going to do this chess move and then this chess move and like move the pawn there and the classified documents there, and don't tell Hunter to screw this plan up, okay? You got to ask the question, if this is in their hand that they're trying to play, would they be able to tolerate, would they be willing to tolerate Kamala Harris as president for the next 2 years? And I'll just say, I think, and I think they know, if she were president, the longer she's president, the worse they look, the worse the party looks. I mean, her approval, Joe Biden has the lowest approval ratings of any U.S. president. Kamala Harris's approval ratings are even lower. She's unlikable. Nor does she have any level of intelligence or benevolency that I've ever seen expressed. You have to think, like, would they actually be willing to tolerate her as president for 2 years? Or Biden resign, she's president, Newsom vice president. Then is there another chess play to get her to resign, whatever that looks like, so then Gavin Newsom is president before 2024? I don't know. It's a scary world. It's a screwed up world. And all I know is nothing is as it seems. But what I can say is, if this is a play to get Biden to resign, Harris becomes president, then we absolutely have an unelected leader in a democracy. Now, if she's president, then Gavin Newsom then takes her place, then we have a multiplication of that. We have the most unelected leader of the free world that there ever could be. Nobody voted for Gavin Newsom for president. Now, I know I'm extrapolating, living in a world that has not yet happened, and maybe it will never happen. I hope it never happens. But when I look at the classified documents that Biden's being caught with, along with how the mainstream media has absolutely been nothing but a weaponized arm of the Democratic Party, big time for the past 3 years, certainly longer, but I've recognized it the past 3 years. I have to say, for the media to be, quote unquote, reporting negatively against Biden, it's not of their own accord, in my opinion. It's not because, like, hey, we do journalism and this is a worthy story. No, they don't do journalism. They do propaganda. I think something's up. I don't think they would be reporting negatively on Biden unless there was a deeper plan from the people that run Biden, to which negatively reporting on Biden helps them meet their devious little reptilian clawed objective. Wouldn't it be great if the Biden administration says, all right, damn it, like we really got a problem. We're in damage control. We need an expert who knows how to handle this situation and get us out of hot water. There's only one man to call. Hunter, you mind helping us out with this? Yeah, guys, what's up? All right, classified docs, what do we do? Hunter's like, all right, Dad, here's what you got to do. You need to hire a bunch of prostitutes. Then you want to bang them. But while you're banging them, you need to hold the classified documents that you're not supposed to have and film yourself while you're doing that. Biden's like, sounds like a good plan, but I don't know how to work a camera. He's like, that's fine. If you do enough crack, you just work through it real quick. And Dad, did you poop yourself? Don't tell your mother. Yeah, my mother died decades ago, Dad, so you don't have to worry about that. So anyway, once you do all that, get the footage, then you want to drop those files off at a random computer shop, and all of this will be swept under the rug. You'll be in the clear. I hope they do consult expert Hunter on how to deal with damaging situations, because he's been in many. He's caused many. And you got to resort to someone with experience when you want to get yourself out of hot water. So with that said, that's my opinion, based mostly on speculation and my own critical thinking of what is happening and what will come from the Biden classified document situation. And I would be really curious to hear your opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think is going on. Whether you think it's kind of like being how they're presenting it, I think that's how it is, or you think there's another hand at play. And if so, what do you think is happening there? So I'll look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. And before we go, I do want to say, if you're into the idea of sporting the Freedom vibes, if any of the Freedom merch that I have to offer would be fun and a lovely way for you to do that, feel free to check out all the Freedom designs. This is one of my favorite. 1984, not today. We're doing 1776 because that number represents freedom. It doesn't represent tyrannical control. And this design and all the other classics are available at awakenwithjp.com. If you're into it, love to have you check them out. Get anything that works for you. And with that said, I'll see you right back here on this channel for our next video. But until then, stay free.